Okay, so I'm making this video to show you how do we get the arch radius on this glass for a channel square, right? Okay, so Carlos is gonna be my assistant here. We already did the work, so I'm not gonna show you from all the times we tried to get the radius. These were the previous radius in this apartment complex. All of these, we came up with this one today. So I'm just gonna go straight to this, and that way we avoid wasting time. So you need one of these large pins. You need a stiff tape, like the one I have, white blade. These ones are not good, they're too soft. So I'm gonna put the plywood farther in the table because I need the space to put the tape on the table. Okay, so what you do is you put your measuring tape like this. You align it with the bottom of the wood like that, and then you get the tape to align with the line on the wood right there. Okay, then since we already know that is 66 3/4, I'm just gonna go straight to 66 3/4 and mark it with the pin. And this is gonna be my pivot. Okay, that's gonna be my pivot. So I glide the tape on the pin. So 66 3/4, then I'll start to move that's why you need a stiff tape. I am at 66 3/4 right there. And we're on the line. Then I'm gonna move a little bit more. 66 3/4 right there. I'm still on the line. Then 66 3/4 again, right there. Now we're getting a little bit in, like 1/8 of an inch in there. That's probably because when they cut the glass, they cut it by hand. They didn't use a machine. So 1/8 in is not a problem. 1/8 out is a problem. If the tape goes out like this, that's a problem because the glass is not gonna fit. But if the tape goes in 1/8 like this, we can still make it work. Can you go to the other side, Carlos, so you can practice? I'm at 66 3/4. You see how the tape went in a little bit? That's fine. It might be when they cut it short by hand. 66 3/4 again. See how short we are? But I don't think is that we're off on the radius, because when we get closer to the end, that's when the tape starts to get on the line. It's almost on the line, right, Carlos?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go to the very end, right there, 66 3/4. Oops, it went up. Go back a little bit, Carlos, right there.
But right on the line.
I'm at 66 3/4 right there. Right on the line?
Right on the line.
So, can you focus here? So, this is your pivot, and you just glide your tape on the pivot of this to make a curve on the glass, like that. And that way you can see where your tape is and if it's following the curve of the pattern. That's how you get the radius. Carlos and I, we try at 60 inches. We started at 60 Because we already have a record for this apartment complex. Can you put it on the line then? So we started at 60 because there's some arches that are 60 in the same apartment complex. And you see what happens when you have the wrong radius. Let it go, Kurt.
Right there.
You see, this is 60. You see how the tape goes in and it gets worse as it goes up. So
Yep.
that's what we did. We started at 60 and then we incremented and we went to all the way to 68 and a half, and then we realized that the tape was going out at 68 and a half. That was not good. And then we started to go down until we figured out that it was 66 and 3/4. And that's how you get the radius. You need the tape, a pin, tack, whatever you call it, and then you start following with the tape, the curve, until you figure out which radius is the one that we need. In this case was 66 and 3/4.